This evening, we've been thrilled with a very, very interesting fixture and a very, very impressive scoreline and performance from Chelsea. This game saw Chelsea put 5 past West Ham, and to emphasize how Chelsea are going in a much more progressive phase in their project in the Maurizio Pochettino era, and also a good clean sheet to ensure Chelsea are tight in the defensive areas. So Chelsea in this game actually showcased a lot of dominance both in offense and in attack. And one thing that I really liked about Chelsea today is how they were able to manage the game in between the 90 minutes with passes and knowing when to take off steam in the game, something that Manchester City does best. So some key players have contributed to this, including Noni Madueke and Cole Palmer, who looked having a very good chemistry down the right. And I'm going to talk about how tactically these two players managed to create a lot of problems for West Ham. The other player that I'm going to talk about really helped Chelsea in this game was the centre-back Thiago Silva, and his positioning, especially during Chelsea's build-up, ensured Chelsea had a very solid and penetrative structure, especially when they wanted to build from the back, as well as when they were in settled possession. And one key player who's the most important player in this discussion is Marc Cucurella. Marc Cucurella looks like he has been reborn. Maurizio Pochettino tactical tweak of using Cucurella as an inverted fullback has showcased to give Chelsea a lot of stability and a lot of defensive security in that midfield region. So let's look at the lineup that Chelsea picked. So Maurizio Pochettino decided to go with a 4-2-3-1, Petrovic in goal, Chalobah, who started as a right back, and I'm going to explain the role that Chalobah played, which was very important. Marc Cucurella in the left back position, Silva and Badiashile in the centre back position, Conor Gallagher and Moises Caicedo, and I'm going to explain how Gallagher played in this game, as well as the front three of Modric, Palmer, and Noni Madueke, with Jackson playing ahead of them. Before I start my tactical analysis, do not forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. So Chelsea lined up with their default 4-2-3-1 formation, and as usual, what we expect from Chelsea in this lineup is that when they like to build up, they usually like to drop both of their center backs deep and try to drop at least one of their pivots deeper to try and build up play. But Maurizio Pochettino in this game had very different tactical solutions that he wanted to implement, which I think are very innovative, that I'm yet to see in the Premier League this season. So when West Ham looked to try to press Chelsea high up the pitch, we started to see Chelsea, especially the role of Thiago Silva was very important, because he did not drop alongside Petrovic, but rather looked to drop and occupy the position just ahead. So Chelsea will spread their wingers wide and push Jackson forward so that they could create pace and make West Ham play with a very low backline. They would push Conor Gallagher on the left-hand side of the left half space and Palmer down the right so that they could occupy West Ham's two double pivots. So this would see Caicedo push forward and Thiago Silva moving in that number 6 position. So when this staggered formation is created, Chalobah is able to play in a much comfortable position in the right centre-back position. And this is how Chelsea managed to do it. Now, Cucurella in that position would also invert and look to play in that midfield position, giving Chelsea that 3-1-2-2-3 system. You can see from this clip the position of Chalobah and Badiashile, who have spread on either side of Petrovic. Thiago Silva is the solo pivot in that position, and you can see the positions of Marc Cucurella and Moises Caicedo, and also the positions of Palmer and Gallagher, and you can see how the positions of Palmer and Gallagher are making West Ham's deeper midfielders to stay deep, allowing Cucurella and Caicedo time and space on the. This complemented with wide wingers staying wide and Jackson stretching further up the pitch. This ensured Chelsea expanded their area of the pitch, and since Chelsea had close to 3 lines of midfields, 3 lines of playing, this made West Ham really struggled to know how they could press Chelsea, and I'm going to tactically explain to you how this gave West Ham problems. So because of Thiago Silva picking up this position, automatically in the first initial phase of build-up, Chelsea already had a numerical advantage because we had two centre-backs playing alongside the goalkeeper and Thiago Silva playing deeper. And because West Ham could not commit players to press Silva, Silva will receive the ball in this position and look to easily pick both Cucurella and Moises Caicedo. But if the two pivots would push on to the two double pivots, then Silva could easily find the ball to Cole Palmer or the ball to Conor Gallagher down that position, and that would be dangerous. So they decided to sit on to Palmer and Gallagher and allow Caicedo and Marc Cucurella to receive the ball in these positions. So when these two received the ball in these positions, they were able to hold on to the ball and drag players out of position and look to try to play the ball through them. Now, this also was quite interesting. When West Ham will try to use their wingers to cover the two inverted fullback and Chelsea CDM, then Petrovic and Thiago Silva in these positions would immediately try to look just to play the ball around, either by using third man combinations with the centre backs who would be making runs forward, especially Benoit, who would receive the ball and look to play the ball to Modric. And Modric, we saw time and time again in the first half receiving the ball in space and looking to immediately run or attempt to play passes, especially when Conor Gallagher was holding his fullback behind. Now, because of this incredible playing, Chelsea were able to play through West Ham. West Ham decided to sit in a 4-4-2 block, and the role of Gallagher was so important. Pochettino wants Gallagher or his secondary pivot to push forward. So we saw Palmer moving to occupy his normal right half space position, with Gallagher moving to occupy the left half space position so that Chelsea could have a front five. And Cucurella would invert in midfield to give Chelsea security, especially, and also help Caicedo in build-up, with Chalobah tucking in to play as a third-sided centre-back. Now from this clip, you can see how Chelsea have the 5 rest defense, and I talked about the rest defense. The rest defense are the players who play in behind the ball so that they can be able to intercept the balls and prevent the team from losing the ball through counter-attacks. You can see how Chelsea's rest defense is well stationed, and you can see the position of Marc Cucurella and the position of Moises Caicedo. Cucurella in this position was so vital because he will receive the ball in this position and look to progress the ball further. Look at the position of Chelsea's wingers. They are starting wide and giving Chelsea outlets, especially in the wide areas, with the two players Gallagher and Palmer playing in those pockets of spaces in between the lines, enabling Chelsea to able to play balls and try to find them. Now, this 3-5 structure was very crucial for Chelsea because in the initial phases of build-up, they already have numerical advantages because they played with 3 centre-backs against 2 forwards. And in this case, they would easily manage to play through the first line of pressure and look to find the balls, especially to their 2 double pivots. That was Cucurella and Moises Caicedo. And Cucurella was much more dynamic with the ball, looking to immediately play those penetrative passes in the half spaces, especially for either the dropping in Jackson or Conor Gallagher and Cole Palmer. And the same went ahead to Caicedo, though he was much more expressive, looking to shift play and looking to play balls over the top, especially for the dribbling runs of Noni Madueke. But down the right, we saw Chelsea being so strong. And why was Chelsea so strong down the right? See, Noni Madueke in this position had many options, especially with the overload with Palmer. He could either receive the ball and look to dribble past Emerson and try to have a shot on goal and try to score a goal from that position. Alternatively, if Emerson was reluctant, we would see Noni Madueke playing the ball to Cole Palmer, and Palmer in this position will try to look to make cutbacks, and that's actually how Conor Gallagher managed to score the first goal of the game because Palmer was able to hold on to the ball and make that cutback position. And if the fullback will decide to stick tight to Palmer, then good, because Palmer will make a dummy run, pull the fullback out of position, and create spaces, especially on the edge of the box, for Noni Madueke to try and attempt a shot. And we saw that time and time again in the second half when Noni Madueke was able to receive the ball and look to try to attack and make shots in those kinds of positions, which was very important. Now, down the left also things were quite dynamic, especially down the left where Chelsea have been so weak. Today we saw Chelsea playing so well, and these overloads were being created with 4 players. Benoit pushing forward, we saw Mudryk hugging the touchline, Palmer, Conor Gallagher in the half space, and Cucurella also shifting across as a midfielder. Now, what we'll see is Gallagher will make a darting run and create rooms and space for Mudryk, who likes to receive the ball with his stronger right foot and try to play penetrative passes, especially penetrative passes to Jackson, or to play the ball to Cole Palmer, or to use Cole Palmer as a dummy and switch the ball on to Noni Madueke, something that we've seen Mudryk do time and time again. And sometimes we'll even see Mudryk occupying the left half space position with Gallagher pushing out to receive the ball, though he was not quite effective like Mudryk in that position. And Mudryk in this position would try to attempt to play the ball, especially to Nicholas Jackson, and try to find Jackson to try and at least try and attempt to score the goal. Now, Westham decided to sit slightly deeper, compress the space, and deny Chelsea any space in between the lines. And this is where again I was fascinated with Pochettino. He decided to play with an aggressively high line, something that I've been shouting in this channel, and that is try and compress the spaces between the forward and the defense line, and this enabled Chelsea to effectively counter press and win the ball whenever they lost it. Now, when West Ham had some time with possession, some time on the ball, Chelsea will sit in a rigid mid 4-4-2 block, and Chelsea were not afraid because we knew that Pochettino likes to drop Noni Madueke as a right wing back in those kinds of instance, allowing him to double up against Kudus and one defender to try and look to pick Emerson, who will try to create overloads in the half spaces or in the wide channels. And once Chelsea would receive the ball, their main aim was to find Nicholas Jackson and attempt to play the ball forward. So what fascinated me about this game was the position of Marc Cucurella. And Marc Cucurella showcased why he is among the best inverted fullbacks. And actually, I'm currently preparing a 20 minutes video to try and explain how Cucurella is so good and how he has helped Mauricio Pochettino attain stability in Chelsea's midfield. Questions are further being asked of the position of Enzo Fernandez when he is back. Remember, you play your best team, not your best players. And Cucurella currently is showcasing why he is actually giving a lot of balance to the team. Him coming in field frees up Caicedo and reduces the space that Caicedo has to cover during the games, something that I have really been talking about in my videos, and I'm going to thoroughly analyze how Cucurella does this and why he is special in doing this. Mauricio Pochettino, on the other hand, is really delighted, though I believe that if Mauricio Pochettino would have managed to get a win at Sheffield United and the win against Burnley at the Bridge, Chelsea would have been in a much better position and hopefully in a position where they could actually pose a threat to Aston Villa for the Champions League places. But currently, Pochettino's main aim is to try to get Chelsea in the Europa League. Now, you can add more, you can use the comment section area below and talk about other tactical solutions that you saw Mauricio Pochettino employ in this game. Otherwise, I'd really like to congratulate Pochettino for actually coming up with a system and a tactic that has seen Chelsea improve, and thus has improved Chelsea from the Everton game, the Aston Villa game, the last game against Spurs, and this game today. If you've enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.